start over, but it's a light agenda. Let's call the meeting to order. In front of you guys have the minutes from the March 21st meeting. And does any...
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the March 21st.
Motion by Brunmeyer.
Second.
And second by Wolf. Any discussion? All in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Approval of the agenda. Any changes or additions to the agenda?
We do have one addition under the 7A will be the building application or building permit for posts.
And everybody has a copy of that? Okay. Anything else? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion to approve current agenda with the addition of the OST application for building permit.
Okay, motion by Hack to approve the agenda.
Second.
Second by Brunmeyer. Discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. 4A, we have the All-Take Work Order agreement. You all got a copy of that. It just outlines the kind of the fee structure for the remainder of this project. So if there's any issues on this, it's pretty small. They can't exceed. Is it $5, Monty?
$5,000.
Yeah, you can't exceed $5,000. We did approve this last meeting. To bring this, so any discussion or any questions, concerns? Okay, we need to accept this now, correct, Monty? Yeah. Okay. So I need a motion if we want to accept this and use this for the remainder.
Motion approved.
Okay, we have a motion by Hack.
Second.
Second by Wolf. Discussion. Roll call.
Hack.
Aye.
Wolf.
Aye.
Stern.
Aye.
Brunemeyer.
Aye.
Obenauer.
Aye. Motion passed. Thank you. Nothing under requests of citizens. Actually, I want to go back up to 4. Just want to ask Mark. Mark, where are we at with the project? What's the next thing we're going to get from you guys with the street project?
Well, I looked on the Quest website this morning. At that time, 7 prime bidders had picked up the plans. The bid opening, I believe, is it the 14th month?
14th at 2 o'clock.
Yeah. So we'll have the bid opening. We'll review the bids, make a recommendation, and then you'll choose your contractor.
Good. Of those 7, I don't need names, but you see some common ones in there, and some people that don't.
Yeah,
some faith in.
The contractor that did the 2014 was one. And then, yeah.
Good.
So.
When does that close again?
The 14th. April 14th.
That's when we open.
Okay, so it's open right now. It closes on the 14th. So we'll be able to make a decision on the 18th.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Okay.
Okay. And Mark, could you also give us a quick update where you're at with the Williams Builders property out there? What's the latest on that?
Well, we were ready to submit the final plat when the owner wanted to make some changes to the plat. He also wanted to make some fairly significant changes to the plans that had been developed to that point. So right now we are negotiating with him as to how to handle that.
you're not talking anything, large enough we have to bring it back to zoning, do you?
As far as the plat?
Right.
No.
Well, I would say that the plat would have, but it won't be require any public hearing, because
Okay.
the only thing required the hearing was the rezoning. And there are some changes to the plat. I think I view them as minor, but it's not the plat that they approved, and so I think it would just, because we bounced back to them and then back to the city, well, to the city commission, because it never did get here.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Mark.
Sure.
Appreciate it. All right, down to 6A, West River Telephone franchise ordinance. So we did get a note from Greg Lang. You guys all saw that. And if you have any other comments or concerns, Monty, just get a hold of Greg and make those recommended changes that he has outlined for us. When are you going to get a hold of him tomorrow then?
Yeah,
Mark,
I
do
can hold them tomorrow, but if you wanted to make a motion to approve the first reading of it at this point, I
Okay.
would find that we can still make it.
Okay.
That one little change that he recommended.
Okay, so we could do the first reading with this change. If someone physically want to make a motion for it, please.
Make a motion that we do the first reading with the corrections that Greg had.
Okay, we have a motion by Brunmeyer
Second.
and a second by Wolf. Discussion. Please.
I guess one thing I read in there is this is a 20-year agreement. Is that right?
Is that what the first one, is that what the last one was?
Standard, yeah.
Okay.
These are non-exclusive franchises, so if anybody else wants to provide a voice telephone service, you can also issue a franchise to them. Midco changes their mind about things, and they decide to offer voice. They have to apply for a franchise also, but you could still issue because they're non-exclusive
Okay.
franchises.
Okay.
Just allows them to use your streets and alleys and the right-of-way, public right-of-way for placement of their equipment.
Any other discussion? Okay, we have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Brunmeyer.
Aye.
Wolf.
Aye.
Hack.
Aye.
Stern.
Aye.
Omenauer.
Aye. Thank you. Seven A, building application. Mark and Green Post.
Yeah, they are submitted an application for a deck, open porch, to be on the south side of the house. On the back side of the application, you can see a picture of their house, and so that's where the porch / deck would end up going. And so, as Mark was explaining, it would be a deck across the whole front. It won't extend any further south than what the steps are there now. And as far as, to give you some idea as far as how far back it's going to be, it would end up being 12 feet off the property line. And so they'd need an 8-foot variance because the setback is 20 feet from the property line there. And then the steps, rather than coming further out towards the street, they'll end up going off on the east side then?
Probably start on the east and the west.
Onto the driveway.
Yeah.
There will also be 4 rafters coming off there. They'll insert into the set that's already there, with the bottom part out. The overhang.
Okay. And you said it won't come any further than the existing steps that are on this picture.
Correct.
Okay. Okay.
I make a motion to approve the building permit.
Motion to approve by Brunmeyer.
Second.
Second. Any other questions or discussion? Questions? Roll call.
Brunmeyer.
Aye.
Wolf.
Aye.
Hack.
Aye. Aye.
Stern,
Aye.
Omenauer.
Aye, motion approved. Good luck in your project. At this end of my report, I could have asked Mark my questions, so that's what I had. I'm sorry I didn't go by proper.
We had the new gentleman start today for the water department. I saw him on the railroad, 3 o'clock. He seems to think he's going to really like it. We have a part-time starting pretty soon for the city and the water. That's about all. They had a sewer problem about 1 o'clock in the morning. Dick got a call, but he found out it was on the homeowner's side, so.
Okay. You said we had a part-timer start too?
She's going to be
But
full-time.
she's full, right, okay,
She's
I want to make that clear.
full-time,
Yeah,
part-time
yeah.
for both
Yeah,
departments.
she'll be working between both.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's
Okay.
all I have.
All right, questions for Judy? All right. Streets.
Dustin Weidrich, one of our new hires there. That's the only day. Only day I guess like work a week, and then that I guess turned in his notice, and I'm not sure if the other, I guess, a gentleman.
He started today.
Okay. Then we did have another guy, I guess, that started, I guess, Monday there in the field spot.
Okay, so interesting day today at the city shop, that a lot of unfamiliar faces. Okay. Anything else, Casey?
Yes, then our, I guess, a skid steer bucket needs some work, I guess, cutting edge on it, and, I guess a patchwork, and, Hazen Welding gave us a quote for almost, I guess, $800. So then, with that, then I move to approve the, I guess, repair work.
Okay, we have a motion by Stern to do some work on the skid steer, get that thing back to full force.
Second.
Second by Hack. Discussion? Roll call.
Stern.
Aye.
Hack.
Aye.
Wolf.
Aye.
Brunemeyer.
Aye.
Omenauer.
Aye. Motion passed.
I got one question. I see the street sweepers running, is it working? I mean, better than it normal, or?
I don't know. I'm not sure if we got all the parts.
Yeah, they just got it back up and running today, so I'm not sure
Okay.
how much of a use they got out of it yet to see. So.
I was just curious about.
Visit Ron tomorrow. Anything else, Casey? Okay, thank you. Finance, busing,
Nothing at this time.
all right. And fire, police, forestry.
I have nothing at this time, other than, I'm afraid we may have the fire department pretty busy this season.
No.
Had our first grass fire, well, 2 of them
Mm-hmm.
on Sunday, yeah. So, other than that, no, I haven't.
All right. Moving on to 9A. We have the grant for radio equipment. Monty, you want to give us a little bit of...
Basically, I finally got the Code of Communications up there to take a look and narrowband the radios that they could. This was supposed to have been done by January 1st of 13. And there were several radios that they couldn't even narrowband. They'll have to be replaced by the federal law. So I visited with Carmen Reed, the county emergency manager. She said there was a 100% grant available, so we did make application for up to $40,000 in funding for these radios from the Department of Emergency Services. Once we hear if we receive the grant, then we'll have to decide which radios we're going to actually go after or how we're going to proceed. So this is basically just to let you know, I did submit this grant, it was due the 31st.
Good, thank you. Every penny helps. And 9B, Mercer County Multi-Hazard Mitigation Plan Resolution. We got a copy of that here. And we have to approve this for, I guess, originally brought before us about a year ago for disaster funding. So we have to approve it again then, Monty,
Well, no, just basically, it is complete. FEMA has approved the county's plan, which includes the city of Hazen. So we need, the city needs to approve the resolution being authorized to be part of that plan. And that makes us eligible if there are any FEMA or federal funding for disaster.
So moved.
all right, yeah, we're good. Monty, you want to give us a little report on the Southwest Water meeting?
We got any motion?
Oh, we need a motion, sorry. We have a motion by Brunmeyer, second by Hack. Discussion. Roll call.
Brodemeyer. Hack.
Aye.
Wolf.
Aye.
Stern.
Aye.
Obenauer.
Aye, motion passed. Sorry about that. Monty, would you give us an update on the Southwest Water meeting, please?
I did attend the meeting down there hosted by Southwest Water Facilities by the North Dakota League of Cities. Basically, it comes down to the fact that they're going to end up negotiating this agreement with each city individually because of all the different variables as to when they started to expand, when property was annexed, and then some of the different costs. I mean, if they were planning on having 5 people in an area, is it fair to charge us if all of a sudden we have 20 houses? You know, are they actually being negatively impacted by that because they were only working with 5, we're now selling water to 20. So these are some things they'll basically come around and negotiate individually. It can be with either the entire board or Attorney Donovan and a couple members of the board, however you want to do it. But once we hear more from them as far as scheduling, we'll go from there.
So what does that mean for like the Williams location
That
or
is already in city limits.
Salvador Schwab's land?
That could be interesting as far as that goes because they're basing it, Southwest Water approached this from an income approach. So they're saying any connection made in an annexed area now is lost revenue to them, whether they were planning on 5 or whether they were planning on 500. So if that is the case, their suggestion is you charge that fee up front. I mean, if it's the 5 years for new construction, basically you would charge that to each property owner as they connect was about $1,000. Just make that, Dickinson made it part of their building permit. Their connection fee, their water and sewer connection fee, they increased to cover those costs that are being passed on by Southwest Water. But I know a lot of the discussion was, well, that's kind of hard for some of the smaller cities to add another $1,000 on for your building permit. So that'll be one of the things that we have to negotiate with them. What we're planning is going to be part of our negotiations too, where we're expecting to expand.
Okay.
So,
Well, Southwark, who already charges $5,000 to hook up water per customer, how are they going to?
yeah, I'm not sure how they're going to proceed.
They did a lot of water and infrastructure work, and so that's what they charge for new hookups, $5,000, and that's how they're recouping their costs of their project. But it should be kind of scary.
All the money.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I don't know if the gentleman from the party wants to say anything on that.
Okay. Sir, are you here to speak to us?
I was under the impression that we had dropped off the franchise agreement for your consideration. I don't know if that made it.
We did
to the-
receive it
okay.
Friday. Attorney Donovan hadn't had a chance to review it yet before the meeting, so that's why, sorry.
Well, I'm sorry for our tardiness. We were trying to finish it up and we were late. So thank you for accepting it there, and I would assume the next meeting would be considered.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you give us a little update on it? Is there some certain changes that are happening that you can outline?
What we did was propose, for the attorney's consideration, was wording that's been common our franchises are coming up with the various cities that we serve. And so the wording is similar to Bismarck, Mandan, Dickinson, South Harbor, Bellfield. And so that would be what would be for consideration. The wording is basically the same along those lines. And so it's our attorney, drew it up, and it's something that you won't have to recreate. Something you can edit, take a look at, but it's that's the wording that we've been using in the other towns we serve in.
So is it going to outline any services that are happening in our communities then?
No, it's broad. It's at service at your will, at your discretion. So it's a privilege to serve across the streets and alleys, and how we handle that, how it's handled with notice, in that type of situation.
Okay. Are we going to be formally notified by Rough Rider about loss of any more services, such as having the installation of light poles in our community or any of that stuff?
Of light pole?
Light and power, yeah.
I'm assuming that we've stopped.
That's what I was told by when I was at Rough Rider 2 weeks ago, that service is no longer going to be given to our community like it has been for the last 20 years, but I wasn't sure if that was going to be a formal written note to the community, or is it, or if we were going to actually hear from Rough Rider about
yes,
that.
No, you'll hear from us. The change is coming from an unmetered light to a metered lighting system, and so that may have been the way it was put. So we have agreements with all the cities we serve as far as unmetered, and those will be changing and evolving as time goes. Where they can be metered, that change will be made. Then that I'm not sure exactly how that's going to grandfather in, but right as far as going forward with anybody that installs lights, whether it's on the farm or subdivision, those will be metered lights. So the way it's handled will change.
Okay. I don't understand how the metered and unmetered how that works. Can you explain that? So does the city still receive the bill?
Right now, if that's the way it is now, that if the city pays those utilities part of that, then that would stay the same. It's just a matter of the energy. We had 2 different systems. It depends on how the lights are hooked up, and if an electrician was hooking it up, or if our linemen are hooking it up. If our linemen were hooking it up, they put the light up, and you paid the light fee, and then an assumed amount of electricity to go with that. So there was a fee that was charged each month. If the electricians were hooking it up, then it was through the meter, and so then you paid a lower amount just for that light rental, and then the energy went through the meter. So then you actually paid for every kilowatt hour as it was used. And those kilowatt hours, it's a very good assumption as to what it'll use for the year. But if you have an overcast year, you're going to use more kilowatt hours. If it's it's clear than normal, and the twilight skies and stuff, your light will come on later. So it was an assumption, and just to get that down to something that's most people can get grasp, that change is being made.
Okay. So that's not included in the letter that Monty received Friday?
No, this is just for the franchise.
Just the franchise alone.
Yes.
Okay.
Does that mean that the new light pole that's going up across from the right is going to be metered?
No, when I talked to Jim Block, he said that will be the last time Rough Rider will be providing the service of putting that light pole in for us. From now on, if it's, let's say we're, Williams Builders is looking at building, or if we have a new area by Schwab's, that would be Edling Electric or an electrical contractor we'd have to hire to do that. That would be no longer Rough Rider doing that service. Am I correct?
That's the way I understand it. We would just place a meter, and then electricians would run from that and place the, that's basically the case.
Okay. Any other questions?
I have a question about this agreement, I guess, in Southwest Water.
So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
So then if we don't, I guess, agree on their terms, and
That was the last thing discussed, what happens if we don't, and what's the recourse. And obviously, Mr. Dwyer is the attorney for Southwest Water. And all they said was, well, we'll have to try and figure something out so it doesn't come to litigation.
You know, I guess that fuel, you know, they're not on.
If they're not on Southwest Water at this point again. So, yeah. That's basically was their final answer on that one. It's like, not very clear, but there again, he said everything was on the table for negotiation, so.
Speaking of Beulah's Water, I believe, reading their Beulah Beacon last week, they spent $5 million on a new water treatment facility. Yeah. But yeah, we don't, I don't know if we break the contract, I'm sure there'll be litigation. You know, we have to get our old.
Well, and none of these terms apply until somebody actually connects, that would have been connected to Southwest Water.
So I guess, how does that work with the Old Woods people that, like, after like 10 years or whatever, they're supposed to have time to?
Yeah, that'll be one that we have to talk about, because that was one of the specifics that they talked about with some of the other towns. We already have people that are right now being served that were already part of the city, but you could get the service to them sooner. Are they just going to abandon theirs? Who gets the ownership of that? Those are all, again, those are all unfortunately things that will have to be negotiated for this county. Not much.
Is there a timeline, Monty?
No, there was no specific time.
Okay.
They're going to try and get out and visit as quickly as they can and sit down with either the boards or groups or whatever.
Okay. Thank you for going to that meeting. Any other questions? Okay. Take a look at the bills. Any questions or concerns, comments?
Couple that I didn't get entered after I got back. We did receive one, the busing department is doing their fundraiser with the Lutherwick ladies. They did submit an invoice for their costs for their performance and their mileage, but they had miscalculated the mileage. So their billing won't exceed $600. It should actually go down from what it was through the tax, the new numbers. And then there was my mileage for doing it.
Okay.
Yeah. 99.93.
All right.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Wolf.
Second.
Thank you. Second by Stearns. Discussion. Roll call.
Wolf.
Aye.
Stern. Brunemeyer.
Aye.
Hack. Obenauer.
Aye. Motion passed. Meeting adjourned.
This is John. This is the results of us.
Golf course open today? Yesterday.
I played Saturday.
Good
Or
job.
no, it was
It was Saturday.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
See you guys, yeah.
So are